Bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. We're at the Girod Theater at the Armory, home of Portland Center Stage. Kicks off September 23rd with Guys and Dolls, the first of 6 main stage productions. Joining us is Senator Fred Girod from North Santiam Canyon. Big issue down there is going to be a big issue in the upcoming legislative session, bringing back the salmon runs.
Ken, I think that's one of the most important things that we can address in this next session is how to bring back the runs.
And number one, let's start with the fisheries.
Okay, with fish hatcheries, we're finding out that we're creating surface feeders with the way that we feed the young salmon. And if we introduce the food in the bottom of the tanks instead of the top of the tanks, we make them less prone to bird attacks later on in life. The other thing is that they have very little fear of predators, and so if we introduce a predator late in the period in those tanks, that would instill a little bit of fear. And the third thing is we want kind of a rocky bottom so that they don't wear off their stomach scales, which produces disease later on.
You know, it's interesting, you want to introduce a predator into the fish hatcheries, yet you want to get rid of a couple of predators that are out in the wild. Let's talk about those.
Well, absolutely. There's 2 predators that we're really concerned about. Cormorants, early when the young fish, the smolts, come down the river, have voracious appetites and really do a number on the salmon runs. And those used to be hunted legally for a long period of time.
They're birds.
They're birds.
Okay.
And so we need to go after making that available for hunters again and get their numbers down to where they should be. The second one is going to be a little touchy subject. Yeah. People aren't going to like it, but sea lions are really, the population has exploded. There was 1,000 sea lions when the fish runs were at their peak. There are 300,000 sea lions now. So we have to get the population under control. So either we have to euthanize some or we have to sterilize some. But it could be a combination of both.
It's going to be a controversial issue. Am I too naive to think they can be relocated?
I think you are, because no matter where they are, their appetite's going to be the same, and that's going to be for salmon. So especially around Bonneville where the salmon are trapped, we need to start there. But the numbers that they're talking are just too small. We're talking, they wanted to go after 60 salmon last session. That just isn't going to get you there.
So it's a federal mandate. You can't touch a sea lion.
It's a federal mandate. You can't touch a sea lion.
Okay.
So it's going to require some changes to the Marine Mammal Act at the federal level in order to bring that under control. But we have endangered species, and so you know the best way to protect them is to bring the other part of the ecosystem in line, and that is to bring the sea lions in.
It's not only predators that are hurting the fish runs, it's human beings, and a lot of foreign fishermen may be encroaching on our waters.
Right, and so we need to look at enforcement of our 200-mile limit to foreign fishing fleets. If we don't have reciprocal agreements with them fishing, it needs to be enforced, and they need to be told to get the heck out of there.
Do we have enough patrols?
The Coast Guard, you know,
you don't want to say. I can see it in your eyes.
Well, yeah, I think we do, and the Coast Guard could do that. They just don't have the mandate to do it right now. But is there enough to keep everybody out? Probably not. But I think the word would get out if the fines were substantial and the ships were seized for fishing in illegal waters. That wouldn't take long before people would realize that it doesn't pay to be there.
Well, finally, a big one, gill netting.
The biggest one of all will be gill netting. It's time that we look at how we harvest our fish, and we need to convert to hook and line for commercial fishermen. What that does is it allows them to release endangered fish, wild fish, steelhead, like winter run steelhead on my river, is endangered, and so they get trapped in the gill nets, and the mortality rate is quite high. So by going to hook and line, it allows them to do a quick release.
I know you're passionate about this. You grew up fishing, and we do appreciate your time. Senator Fred Girod for joining us. Thank you. And thank you for joining us here at the Girod Theater at the Armory. Remember, September 23rd, Guys and Dolls, and check out the rest of the schedule when you get a chance. Take care, everyone. I'm Ken Ackerman for the crew here. Make it a great day.